Morning everybody. So this is the first part of the Q&A. I thought I'd do it in two parts because we've got four really good questions. So I'm going to start off with the question about bone broth and water cleanses to see if they can help with menopause, hormone balancing, weight loss, that kind of thing. Now the big answer to this is it depends. It's such a personal thing. I don't normally recommend prolonged fasting for women, certainly around perimenopause and menopause, simply because it's so dependent on people's lifestyles. Now, unless you can rest entirely for that 24 hours that you're going to be doing a cleanse and just drinking bone broth or water or something like that, then you're going to be placing a lot of demands on your body, and your body's going to have to activate a lot more stress hormones to keep your blood sugar level stable, to give you the energy you need to get through your busy day. So most people can't just take that 24 hours out and rest completely. They've got, daily things to do, got to go to work, got to look after the family or whatever. So when you're not eating and you're just having bone broth or water for that period of time, then your body has to mobilize a lot of its stored glucose, which is in the liver and the muscles, and it needs stress hormones to do that. So when we activate more and more stress hormones, that then has a knock-on effect on other hormonal systems in the body, namely your reproductive hormones, your estrogen and progesterone, and your thyroid hormones. And if we keep doing this, it has a knock-on effect on our metabolism, which eventually starts to slow down to adapt to these regular fasts, and it becomes much harder to lose weight. We're probably going to start gaining more weight because of that higher level of stress hormones. Cortisol, for example, favours weight gain around the belly area, particularly around the middle, so you get that kind of squidgy tyre around the middle, and it can lead to long-term problems with estrogen and progesterone as well. So I wouldn't normally be recommending it. Having said that, a lot of people benefit from having what's called a 14-hour overnight fast, so 12 to 14 hours. Most people can do 12 hours quite easily. So that would be if you finish your evening meal by 7 p.m, you wouldn't eat until 7 a.m. the next day. So at the most, it's going to knock out a little bit of evening snacking, which for most people, they don't really need to be snacking in the evening anyway. Some people can extend that to a 14-hour one. This is a good idea, and there's lots of literature to back this up, because it gives the gut microbiome the opportunity to do a lot of housekeeping work overnight. So our gut microbiome are doing an awful lot overnight, housekeeping in the gut, but also helping to regulate other functions as well. Also, the brain does a lot of housekeeping overnight as well. There's a lot of cleansing going on, a lot of repair mechanisms in the body are activated while we're sleeping. So our body's really busy while we're sleeping, actually. And if it hasn't got to worry about digesting food during that time, it can get on and do these functions. There is kind of evidence to show that it can help with blood sugar regulation and better weight balance during the day. So there's more studies coming out on this that's suggesting that things like meal frequency, size of meals is as important as actually what we're eating in those meals as well. So I would veer more towards a 12 to 14 hour, mainly overnight fast. Eating sensibly during the day, if we're looking at weight balance, and certainly in terms of hormonal support as well, because if you start messing with blood sugar regulation, then that then messes with stress hormones, which I've already said it can then messes up things like estrogen, progesterone and thyroid hormones as well. So I wouldn't usually be recommending a 24, 36 hour bone broth fast or water fast at all. Like I said, this is very much an individual thing. And quite often if we're not feeling well, if somebody's had an upset stomach, for example, then actually kind of 12 to 24 hours of just having plain water and resting is really helpful. But that resting thing is really important. You wouldn't just do that and crack on with your normal day and be really busy, because that's going to up those stress hormones. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Now, the second question for this first live is around eating sort of 30 plant foods a week and how we could easily get more variety into our diet. It has been shown that 30 to 50, some people say 50, some people say 30, different plant foods a week is really, really helpful for the diversity and health of our gut microbiome. So we all have a different balance of microbes within our gut microbiome. No two gut microbiomes are the same. They are like fingerprints. And what is particularly important is the diversity of different species that's in there. Just as much as the numbers and the amount of them, it's actually having a really diverse population is important. And they love eating different plant foods. So they ferment the fibres from there and they produce what are called short-chain fatty acids, which help to maintain the integrity of the gut lining, but also act as messenger molecules to the brain, so that gut-brain communication comes into play. And the gut bacteria also love the different colour compounds that we get in fruits and vegetables. So these different antioxidants are called polyphenols, and they're quite unique to the plant foods. So it's what makes your aubergine purple, it's what makes your tomato red. They love these different compounds, so this is why having that range and variety of different colour plant foods in the diet is important. Now, it's not just about eating 30 to 50 different fruits and vegetables a week, because that can seem like a daunting task. So the first thing to do is to remember that plant foods covers things like nuts, seeds, beans, pulses, lentils, legumes. So you've got a kind of quite a broad range there of different things. So if you're eating a kind of trail mix that's got 4 or 5 different nuts in there, and then you chuck in pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds and sesame seeds, then you've got kind of 7 or 8 different plant foods just in that little palm of trail mix that you might be having as a snack or something like that. Herbs and spices count as well. So this could be thinking about ways to add different herbs and spices into your meals, into your drinks. It could be adding some cinnamon into some warm milk. You could put some turmeric in your fish pie. I've done that, it makes a lovely glowing yellow fish pie. It could be grating some nutmeg onto a bolognese sauce. I got that tip from Jamie Oliver actually, it's really nice. It just, add something to the mix. So think about different herbs and spices, herbal teas, that's all good as well. And then thinking about different ways that you might be able to add some more fruits and veggies in. Sometimes buying bags of frozen fruits or frozen vegetables is helpful, because if you're just going to use them every now and again, then you're not going to worry about them going off in your fridge. So it could be chucking in a few different berries into a smoothie, or having them warm with a little bit of yogurt on top or something as a dessert. Or you might get a different vegetable mix and just use it in a casserole or something like that. So there's different ways in which you can expand your variety without thinking that you need to buy 30 to 50 different fresh fruits and veggies a week, because that's quite a big task to do. Right, okay, that's it for part 1. I will be back in a minute with part 2. Bye for now.